Hello, my name is the Gaming Critic. I review video games with no regrets whatsoever. Have you ever played a game that you were really looking forward to, but then it turns out to be a shit game, much like No Man's Sky? Well, that's how I felt when I played WWE 2K15. Much like my Crash Bandicoot The Wrath of Cortex review, WWE 2K15 was overhyped. Reason why I say that is because it was going to be the first wrestling game on next-gen consoles. And with all the hype going around this game, all the screenshots, all the gameplay footages, and all the trailers that was released, people was expecting that this was going to be the best wrestling game of all time. And it turns out to be a huge disappointment. Well, let's not waste any more time and review this game. But before we do, I'm putting up a number of problems list on this screen so you can see how bad this game really is. And with that said, let's review WWE 2K15. Published by 2K Sports and developed by Yuke and Visual Concepts, WWE 2K15 was released in 2014. And it was released on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. It was also released on PC in 2015. Before we talk about the bad things about 2K15, there is a good things that I like about it. So let's talk about the good things and the new features first. The gameplay is one of the most realistic wrestling games I've played. 2K Sports wanted to make this game not only realistic, but a simulation type as well. At the beginning of a match, you can do a collar and elbow tie-up, which plays like a rock, paper and scissors. Whoever wins can hold their opponents. You then use the right analog stick to find a sweet spot. If you win, you inflict damage. If you lose, your opponent will get the upper hand. I like having a collar and elbow tie-up in this game. It feels like you're watching or experiencing a wrestling match that you see on television. Or nowadays, the WWE Network. Which, by the way, you can get the WWE Network for just a low price on your screen. Advertising, you love it. Another thing I like is the 3-tier stamina system. Any move you do will drain your stamina. The first stage makes you full of energy. The second stage will slow down a bit, and the third stage will completely drain your wrestler, so you'll be moving very slowly. In 2K Showcase, you can play stories from the past. There are DLC showcases like the Hall of Pain and One More Match, but the two main ones are Hustle, Loyalty, Disrespectful, which follows John Cena and CM Punk from 2011 to 2013, and Best Friends, Bitter Enemies, which follows Triple H and Shawn Michaels from 2002 to 2004. It is pretty cool to revisit these stories again, even though I've heard it so many times already. And in Universe mode, nothing much has changed. But I do like the story collection. You can be able to make your own stories on how you see fit. There's also special stories you can unlock as well, which I won't spoil any. I also like the character models in this game. The face models looks very realistic. You can also change any character's clothes and set them as alternative attires. Now we got all that out of the way, now we can bring up the problems list and talk about the things that I don't like, starting with problem number 1. There are less match types. The match types in 2K15 are short. Unfortunately, we can't play matches like tag team ladder matches, tag team table matches, tag team TLC matches, tag team steel cage matches, tag team Hell in a Cell matches, triple threat ladder matches, triple threat steel cage matches, handicap matches, I Quit match, Inferno match, even a one-on-one ladder isn't in this game. And many, many more matches are not in this game. Problem number 2. The roster is small. WWE 2K15 features a total of 76 playable characters, which is smaller than WWE 2K14's roster. and with the DLC characters, it leads to a grand total of 112 characters. Which is fine, but still smaller than some wrestling games out there. 2K15 marked the debut of Bill DeMont, Bo Dallas, Corey Graves, Eric Rowan, Lana, Luke Harper, Neville, Rusev, Sami Zayn, Sting, Tamina Snuka, Xavier Woods, and Zeb Coulter. This was the final wrestling game to feature CM Punk. It was also the first time since SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 to not include Vince McMahon as a playable character. Problem number 3. My career mode sucks. A new game mode 2K Sports added was their famous My Career mode from the NBA 2K series. So it should be one of the highlights from this game, right? Well, My Career mode is very underwhelming in my opinion. How it works is you create your character, you start him off in NXT and build him up into becoming one of the greatest wrestlers in WWE. But the things they added ruins the My Career mode experience. After you win a match, you get a message saying that you did good and you'll get a push every single time. This happens way too much. And because the roster is small, you end up facing the same people over and over again, and who the fuck is Baron Blade? Seriously, of all the names you could have chosen, Baron Blade is the first name that comes to your mind? He is one of the most defaulted characters I've ever seen in a wrestling game. Even his name sounds like a default name, and the announcer pronounces him as B Blade for some reason. And once you actually win the WWE Championship, you want to know what happens? Nothing! That's what. I mean, the game just fast forwards all the way to your retirement match. Like, what the fuck, 2K? And here's my point. Once I saw the game fast forward to your last match, I decided to stop playing My Career mode, even for my retirement match. Because if you're not experiencing My Career mode, then you're not having fun. I'm glad that 2K learned from their mistakes and made My Career mode more better in later games. But this was just a total failure. Problem number 4. There are less created modes. The only ones there are Creative Superstar, Entrance, Movesets, and Community Creation. So there's no Creative Finisher, Create a Story, Create a Championship, and Create an Arena. What a huge shame that is. Problem number 5. There's only 25 slots for Create a Superstar. You probably won't see this as a big deal, but what if I wanted to make a TNA universe or even a New Japan Pro Wrestling universe? Because there's only 25 slots, I can't get every single wrestler for my universe mode. And because some creative modes are missing, I have to use the arenas and the champions that this game offers. And it ruins my concept of having a TNA or a New Japan Pro Wrestling universe mode. Like I said before, I do like the Creative Superstar, being able to add alternative ties to wrestlers and being able to put your own face in this game. Which brings me to problem number 6. This is the last problem I have with this game, and it's the worst problem. So I saved it best for last. Problem number 6. You can't create women in this game! What the fuck? Look, I can understand why there's no match types. It's because it's on a next-gen console, so that's okay. But there is absolutely no excuses on why you can't create women in this game. I mean, I want to create women like Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks. But now I can't. I mean, even divas from the past like Mickie James and Tori Wilson and Lita. Fucking Lita. I'll be right back. You know what happens? Huh? You know what happens, 2K Sports, when you decide to develop a shitty game? Huh? You know what happens, 2K15, when you decide to be a shitty game? You know what happens? WWE 2K15?
You just made the list!
And that was WWE 2K15. The worst wrestling game I ever played in a long time. But don't get me wrong. Yes, the models look better. Yes, the gameplay is more realistic. But a wrestling game is so much more than better graphics. It needs to contain a bunch of creativity. And that's what this game lacks. Creativity. A lot of features that are not included, my career mode is boring and has no replay value whatsoever, and why the fuck can't you make women in this game? Here's a true story. After playing 2K15, I was this close. This close for giving up wrestling games for good. Luckily, 2K16 was a massive improvement, so I continued to play wrestling games from there. If I was to recommend this game to anyone, I'd say don't even bother, because this game is skippable. As much as I hate this game, I still have to give it a fair score. So with that said, WWE 2K15 gets 5 out of 10.
He's having a seriously hard time getting back to his feet after that.
What an insane move by Daniel Bryan.
He's got him covered.
Daniel Bryan got it done.
I've got this massive headache from reviewing this game. So, I'm just going to talk about the next game I'm going to review as quickly as I can, without trying to hurt my brain. The next game I'm going to review is a game that came out this year, and is one of Australia's most iconic sports we have to offer. Join me next time as we take a look at Rugby League Live 4. Thank you for watching this review, and if you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, share the video, and subscribe today. My name's the Gaming Critic, telling you to keep calm, and why the fuck can't you make women in this game? Oh, for fuck's sake, 2K. No, I'm done. The review is done. I've said what I've needed to said. Everyone, the review is done. Go home. It's over.